Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Kurt. Welcome back to Farlands or Bust. Woof, there it is. This is episode 675. Wolfie starting it off there a little bit quicker, getting a little bit quicker at that. took some time in the last few episodes. But yeah, this is episode 675 for your Friday. A Farlands or Bust Friday, you could call this. Friday, March 23rd, 2018. That way is west. There's a zombie over there. Guarding the path. We shall triumph over... Oh yes, the sun and flames shall triumph over this zomboid as we continue our way to the Farlands in Minecraft Beta 173. Hello. How are you? Are you doing okay? Oh, that's a shame. Feathers! Feathers, everybody. If you didn't play Minecraft when zombies dropped feathers, did you actually play Minecraft at all? Oh, boy. But yeah, continuing on. We're raising money for Direct Relief Charity over at farlandsorbust.com. Raised some money since the last episode. We're up to $2,290. Nice round number. $2,290 for Direct Relief so far. Thank you everybody who continues to donate to charity and who continues to work towards that $50,000 goal when we will finally press F3 for realsies, for the public, not just for the Guinness Book of World Records. They just have a little bit of a side deal. They have a side deal. They need the numbers. But no, that will be an official F3 number when we finally hit $50,000 for Direct Relief. So I do appreciate that, and I appreciate when you do donate. It gives you a little comment box. You can ask a question, suggest a topic, something. Please, I'm running out of ideas here. No, but something I'll answer and talk about in a future episode of Farlands or Bust. Indeed. Well, Nuggets. Gosh, there was something I was going to talk about, Wolfie. That was related to a topic I talked about a few episodes ago or last episode. But now I don't remember what it was. It's like slowly congealing again in my head. I need some wooden planks. That wasn't it, though. Oh, I know. A few episodes ago, probably the first episode announcing the charity. We're gonna talk about the Falcon Heavy. The Falcon Heavy launch that we all enjoyed together on Twitch. It's talking about, what it meant, how it worked, that I'm upset I didn't go, but then again, who knows if I would have gone, if obviously my presence would have had some impact, therefore it would have been scrubbed or something. So hindsight, that's what it was about. I follow a lot of people on Twitter and on the social webs who are into space flight, science exploration, JPL, planetary, astronomy, all these things. And actually, that's how I got really started on Twitter, was following astronauts and scientists and fellow launch enthusiasts, people who went to the NASA socials I was going to. That's the vast majority of people who I started on Twitter with back in like 2008, 2009. I can't remember when I started exactly. It'll say so on my profile. But yeah, it was a little bit weird when I started doing this YouTube thing. And I'm sure I've scared some of them away. They don't follow me anymore because I'm not talking about space and science as much. But yeah, I still follow a lot of them. And there was, I don't want to call it controversy, but just kind of questioning. Careful of I! Questioning the validity, I suppose, or the Elon Musk's choices in sending up a Tesla Roadster and a dummy in a spacesuit, if that was a wise use of a launch. A lot of people are like, why didn't we send up like rudimentary experiments or kids' school experiments? A bunch of little microsatellites, tiny little microsatellites, CubeSats, they're sometimes referred to as. Why didn't we do something? Especially if he was going to send it out to the orbit of Mars. What about something that we could use there? And I understand and I agree with that. A lot of purists don't want space to be a commercial playground. That is to say, having, Taco Bell put a big advertisement on the moon or whatever, billboards, publicity stunts, advertisements, things like that. And I understand that. That's certainly valid. But also, normally for these test flights, they have to have some sort of payload to test the payload capabilities of the rocket. And normally it's just a hunk of scrap, just a giant hunk of metal or concrete or something that just simulate a simulated payload that often, after a successful launch, will just get dumped in the ocean and doesn't actually go out to Mars or space. And that was another thing. Oh, it's debris. It's space debris. Elon Musk keeps going on and saying that it's going to be up there for billions of years, whereas I do believe some of these folks have actually done the calculations, and there's some chances it'll get flung into the sun or out to Jupiter at some point in the next, 1,000 years or something like that. But anyway, there's debate. I would call it some lively debate there. And of course, there were people on the side of, just let Elon Musk do whatever he wants. It's his rocket. Other people on the side of, we gotta have some rules. We don't want, obviously we don't want it to accidentally crash into Mars and contaminate it. Obviously, the Tesla Roadster is probably not been prepared in a clean room with contingencies for Earth contamination, But I think the vast majority of those debates, I'm not sure what side I'm on. Obviously, I found it to be entertaining. It certainly was attention-grabbing. To have the Tesla Roadster in space, I'm using some of that footage, looping footage of Starman with Earth in the background as my Twitch Be Right Back screen. So obviously, I thought it was interesting. I thought it was captivating and certainly something we've never seen before. But I don't think we would be having any debate if the thing blew up on the launch pad, right? if it never made it into space, then there would be, I don't know that there would be many people saying, we should have sent up kids' projects or scientific instruments or CubeSats, because they'd all be scattered in tiny little pieces across the ocean. So I think because it was a success, and it was honestly a little bit of a surprise that it was a success, that's when people, in hindsight, could start looking back at it and see like, we should have done something better than just a silly little car on a stick off into orbit. And I don't know that SpaceX cares, or they anticipate. I don't know that they anticipated the space flight enthusiasts that they do. Like originally, they had reported that they actually got the orbit out past Mars and into the asteroid belt. But then when basically amateur astronomers, satellite trackers with telescopes, were able to take images, sequential images of it, and they actually refined the orbit to be like, no, you actually made it just to Mars, just barely to Mars orbit, and looking at some of the data and probabilities, you might be thrust into the sun in a couple thousand years. I don't know that they fully expected that. Of course, NASA is fully aware of that, and all of their data is available free and publicly because it's a public institution, and you have people making images and stitching together data and creating animations and stuff from Cassini and Juno images and things like that are published the instant they come down. So that was just a little bit of an interesting conversation I forgot to have about the Falcon Heavy. But let's go to sleep and continue in the morning. And a spoilerness on the horizon-itude. Indeed. There was even a report coming directly from the past NASA Deputy Administrator, Lori Garver. She said that, I don't know, whenever the Falcon Heavy was first introduced, some 8-9 years ago, that SpaceX originally offered NASA a free ride on that first flight. For all the people who were saying, "Oh, you should have put a satellite or something up there." Obviously, that would have been great, but it's not like NASA just has a hangar full of random science satellites or landers that don't have anywhere to go. It would have been, okay, we got a free ride on this rocket. Generally, the rocket launch is one of the least expensive parts of making a scientific mission. There's getting scientists involved and designing the actual equipment and the scientific instruments and designing the spacecraft or the lander or the cameras, all those things. It obviously would have been nice to have like a free ride to Mars or something like that, but it also would have been even worse for NASA to have put effort into like an actual mission only to have it blow up on the launch pad, or in the case of the Falcon Heavy, be 5-6 years delayed and actually really, end up going nowhere, just going out into deep interplanetary space. So yeah, there's a lot to be said about that. And I forgot to mention that when I originally talked about the Falcon Heavy launch. I think it was okay for what it was. I think it did its job. And now we have this new rocket. I believe the next mission is actually going to have an actual payload. I think it's a communication satellite. Is supposed to go up on the Falcon Heavy. It's still not like 100% utilizing the heavy lift capabilities, but it's like test flight number 2, but somebody agreed to put their, communication satellite on it, sort of thing. It could have been done by a normal Falcon 9, but they're getting a discount for trying it on a Falcon Heavy, sort of thing. Just a commercial payload. But yeah, we obviously don't want a bunch of different private companies sending up random billboards and cars and those sorts, just quote-unquote junk into space for the sake of doing it. But I guess right now we don't really have to worry about that because there's only one company, SpaceX, who are doing these sort of testing the bleeding edge of rocketry and uncrewed spaceflight. Indeed. Speaking of previous topics, got a question from Anonymous here. Thank you, anonymously donating to Direct Relief. Anonymous asks, please do not have an internal crisis. I'm glad that this question starts like this. You should be sitting down. Do you think you will ever get too fatigued to continue with Flob? Would you be willing to hand it off to someone? If that was the case, I'll take over. I don't know who you are. You're anonymous. How could I possibly give you the keys? First of all, I think this is in response to my previous episode. Look at this. That's a bit claustrophobic in there, isn't it? Yesterday, or the last episode yesterday, when I was talking about being fatigued, and in previous times, it's a physical fatigue. It is not by any means being fatigued or tired of Far Lands or Bust or my job streaming. Being a video games, that's not what the fatigue is. I'm frustrated because it's stopping me from doing this stuff. Like yesterday, I decided to stream for a little bit and I was feeling very fatigued, still very tired. I really didn't sleep well the previous few nights. And when I started streaming and started talking to chat and stuff, like that's when I started to get a surge of energy, and it's actually what energized me. You know, that's what makes me happy to record these Far Lands of Bust episodes and stream and play video games and you know, do co-op Wreckfest stuff with Beef and Cone, and that's what's keeping me alive. But so yeah, I don't want. So hopefully, I apologize first of all if that's the impression I gave. I'm not complaining about the work that I'm doing. This thing we've created over the past 7 years, which is still crazy to think about. It's not like burnout from my work. It's just like burnout from that skeleton over there. All right. It's just I don't know. That's why it's unexplainable. I'm trying to figure out if it's because I changed my iced tea or because I'm eating these different meals at dinner time that aren't, you know, that are maybe not as big as what I've made. Or eating more vegetables or not getting enough iron. You know, I'm trying to. It's more of a physical thing than a mental thing. Although we've all agreed I'm pretty mental. Sorry, I had to make that joke. It had to happen. So yeah, no, that's not the case at all. That I'm feeling tired of this. I mean, I suppose, obviously we did the first half of this season without a charity, and it was a little bit slow going. We're slowly ramping back up. I would like to get more episodes per week, but we're working on about 2 episodes a week right now. And I would like to get back to even streaming, recording some episodes over on Twitch, and maybe eventually, say, you know, when we pass up 1,000 episodes, it'll evolve into just instead of these little 3 Minecraft day, you know, 35, 40-minute episodes. Maybe I'll just fire up a stream and do this for 5 hours. You know, maybe it'll be a weekly Flobathon sort of thing. I don't know. That's the winds of the sea will take us to the places that we need to go. But right now I'm feeling totally fine. I'm not bored of this. I'm bored of the current versions of Minecraft. It's this. I'm still get excited by seeing all those cool landscapes over there and seeing what's over the horizon, and kind of having a little bit of a. It's kind of dangerous. There's a lot at stake now in this game versus firing up a brand new world. It's like, oh well, if something happens, whoop-de-doo. If I lose this save, no problem. But this has become its own deal, really. But yeah, that's been a question before. Like, oh, what if something happened to you? That I don't have a contingency plan for. I don't know. Maybe I should. I need to write a will for Far Lands or Bust. That's all. Everything else, I don't have much to give. But for Far Lands or Busts, perhaps I need to come up with a redundancy contingency plan, a fail-safe. Like if I don't check in or something within 2 weeks, the file gets sent to somebody. Oh man. It gets sent to 2 people at opposite corners of the world, and they have to come together and combine the keys. By the powers combined Farlands or bust will continue. Well, thank you very much, Anonymous, for your question. I only had a little bit of an internal crisis there. Thank you very much. Speaking of which, FP Becker asks, do you have any idea how much of the Farlander community is from the US versus non-US? That's hard to tell. I don't know if I want to trust, like, the YouTube or Twitch analytics stats, because that doesn't necessitate, you know, Farlanders. You know, people might be watching for Wreckfest, although you're still Farlanders. But as far as, like, I know, as far as, like, Patreon is concerned, the best way I know is the amount of postcards I send. And it's a good, almost 50-50 split there. I usually end up buying about 100, or a roll of 100 postcard stamps for the US, and then I end up using maybe about, pretty much all of them almost. And then I end up getting like, I don't know, 80 or so international stamps. So it's obviously, it's weighted in the United States. Of course, there's a lot of Canada there too, but Canada, even though I'm like a hop, skip, and a jump away, still requires international stamps. So I think it's pretty close. Ooh, speaking of pretty close, look at how close we are to this spawner that we must investigate. Sorry, I said this sentence too soon. What I was going to say, that we must investigate in the morning. And a spawnerness. Spawnerness indeed. Wolfie, come out here and have a seat. Alright, one of these flooded ones. Those are always fun. I also did an impromptu kind of what's the word I'm looking for? I kind of just asked my stream yesterday how many people are in the US versus not, and I actually got a lot. Of course, that's only the people who were actively chatting, only the people who responded at the time, and of course I was streaming late at night. Did my shovel just break? It most certainly did. Obviously, if I asked that question a lot earlier in the day, when everybody in the European side of the pond is awake. Oh, there it is. I would have gotten a different answer. Whoop! It's happened, ladies and gentlemen! Uh-oh. Spooky noises. It's happened again! Mark your calendars. Episode 675, Friday, March 23rd, 2018. Look at this. Look at this. All it takes is 7 years and 675 plus episodes, and you can find two, count them, two golden apples in Minecraft Beta 173. Do they stack? I'm afraid to stack them. I might, like, accidentally... It's like touching matter and antimatter together. Look at this! Look at this! I almost didn't find that chest as well. Oh, and then some iron. Wow! Fantastic. Fantastic. Well, we must proclaim this day a day. I'm glad I'm not off on some sort of long tangent. Oh, I'm beside myself. I almost wasn't surprised. I'm like, oh, golden apples, those are in chests all the time. And then I thought about it. I'm like, wait a dang minute. Oh, they do not stack. All right, they do not stack. This inventory is gonna get into something. It was about that time. It was episode 311. So it's about every 300 episodes, give or take 75. That, and I think that the chances, what is it, 0.08% of a chance that you'll find a golden apple in a chest in Minecraft Beta 173? Not 8%, 0.8, or is it 0.08 of 1%? I think it's 0.8 of 1%. 1/10 of one, or 0.8 of 1%. I'm all confused. How do you make a shovel in this game? I was gonna take this to make a neato. Neat-o. Can we have some celebratory cookies? Do I need 2? Or 1? Ooh, celebratory cookies! Bow, 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 bow. My goodness, my friends. My goodness. You know what? I'll make a redstone torch while I'm at it, too. We're going nuts with these exclusive items. Oh, man. This is a day. This is a day, ladies and gentlemen. For those of you who don't know, apples don't even grow or drop from trees here in Minecraft Beta 173. So this was the only way you could ever even get an apple in this version of the game. And they're golden. That's crazy. I don't know what I'm gonna name this episode now. I've gotta do something clickbaity, right? It's gotta happen. Oh, boy. Wolfie, did you see what I found? Did you see it? Did you see it? Look at it. I know, it's right here. Don't accidentally get fed this. It's crazy, right? I don't even know what happens when you eat one. I guess now we can do that at some point without feeling bad. Oh, man. Good stuff. Alright, here, let's fill that in so it stops flowing, because I'm getting annoyed. How should we do this? Cobble? Whoops. My cookies! Indeed. And then, yeah! And then normal torches around the other sides. We're getting real lazy with these monuments. I don't even remember what I did. Did I just put a sign down? I think I just put a sign down on the first golden apple. Alright, here we go. Boop. Golden apple number 2. Don't. Number 2. Happened on episode 675, March 23rd, 2018. Amazing. Whoa, that's disorienting and confusing. Amazing. Golden apple number 2. Craziness, my friends. Craziness. Half the day is already gone. It was a spider spawner. What was the spawner for golden apple number 1? I have a feeling it was a spider as well. Or was it skeletons? It might have been zombies. I think it was zombies, because I had to fight a bunch of zombies to get to it. Crazy. Absolute craziness. I'm going to try to jump off of this and make it into the water. I might take damage, but I've got cookies. It's fine. Woo! I'm fine. I'm an expert. I'm an expert. Gosh, the offset when you're looking at signs is really wacky. Wow. That's thrilling. I mean, slightly less thrilling than the first one, because that means now it's not as rare as we once thought, but celebratory cookies. Celebratory. I wonder if I'm all over the place here. Woo! Woo! I need a boat, certainly. Certainly. Oh, goodness. Thumbs up for apples. Donations to Direct Relief for apples. Golden apples, my friends. Let's see here. I gotta get a good dramatic angle. And here I thought that amazing landscape that we passed through was gonna be my thumbnail. Hey, Wolfie. Hey, Wolfie. No, at the camera. Over here. Yo! Yo! Dog. Dog. Wolf. Wolfie. No, I'm this way. I'm over here. It's great. I know. No. Over here. Nougat. No. Do you not know that I'm here because I'm in a boat? Is that the problem? That might be the problem. Alright, that's probably good enough, right? It's just obscure enough that I can put it in the thumbnail and people will think it's like a place where I died or something. Oh, okay. Bring that back, please. Whoops. How do I get out of a boat? Right click. Okay. I'm so disoriented and confused and flabbergasted. Wolfie, let's go. This backpack's starting to get heavy. I've got gold encrusted apples. Gold is heavy. Well, I thought I was going to get around to answering a lot more questions, but clearly that was not the intent. I could just make a hidey hole out of that spawner area room there, but I also don't want to like have a spider spawn on my face while I'm trying to sleep. I want to keep it intact. For it is now to be forever held in the memories of the Farlanders in the history of exploration and tactics. Oh boy. I'm beside myself. I don't even... Like, yeah, it's a golden apple in a video game. Whoop-de-doo. But wasn't I just talking about how I'm not getting bored of this? And I said, there's still mysteries and amazing things to be seen in this game. And the game delivers. The game does not want me to be bored. It continues to entice and attract us to shores unexplored and untouched. No touching. Wolfie, there you are. All right. There we go. This place needs a little bit of pomp and circumstance. Pompin'? Wolfie, you're in the way of me giving you a shoreline here. Boop, boop, boop. Don't. All right, have a seat. Good job. Woof indeed. Woof indeed. Oh boy. So, my friends, I hope you enjoyed this episode. Because I certainly did. I certainly did indeed. Good stuff happening. Good stuff. Keep going to farlandsofus.com to donate. It's going to take it to Tiltify, is where our campaign is being held. To donate to Direct Relief. Getting humanitarian medical aid to those in need and in crisis around the world. That is much appreciated. And I will continue walking west. And I will continue collecting these artifacts, showing the sights and sounds of Minecraft Beta 173. Although this is a rarity. This is a rare day indeed, my friends. Such a rarity. You know, wait. Oh, there it is. Huh. That must be anyway. I'm all lost again. I'm sorry. It's overwhelming. I'm whelmed. Overly whelmed. Wolfie agrees. Woo. This is exhausting. This is where the fatigue is coming from. Too much adrenaline pumping through the veins. Oh man, thank you so much for watching. My name is Kurt. Who knows what the next episode holds? But I will see you next time.